Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We've got myself, Strap Facts John. We've got Poppy Platinum House. We've got BDC. And we've got the host of the show. We've got the notorious one, Dom. Boom.
Boom.
And we're here today to talk about WCW Bash at the Beach 1998. So, Dom, what have we got going on with Bash at the Beach 1998?
All right, we're going to San Diego, the home of Survivor Series War Games this upcoming year. Hopefully, we can all make it out there. But that doesn't matter.
Man.
Bash at the Beach 1998, it matters. And we got Tony Schiavone, Mike Tenay, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. And the show kicks off a little differently. They show Mean Gene, and he's advertising the hotline, some hot garbage he's going to advertise. 1-900-909-9900. Kids, get your kids permission. 99 cents the first minute, $1.49 after that.
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah.
He was advertising. I don't know why he was advertising in the show. Kind of remind me like a Nitro, but it doesn't matter. But the opening match, we have Perry Saturn taking on Raven, and Raven's with his flock. Saturn, he's down with the flock, and he's trying to say that he is Raven's friend. He's not a follower. Raven don't think so. So we get this match right here. Strap, what are your thoughts on this opening match right here?
Okay, and just looking at it, you think of like Raven, like, man, he was a real stud in 1998, man. He had his own faction. I mean, people at school, they were on NWO Hollywood, or they're in part of the Wolf Pack. A few people might have been WCW guys, but some people represented the flock. And God, well, they didn't die, so God live their happy souls. But Raven was the freaking man here, and he was all over the place seemingly, man. He got all the undercard guys with him. He had the Kidman and Van Hammer and Lodi, all those guys.
Yep.
So he had a lot of people under his control. And what a weird thing to have Saturn be a part of that, but not really be a part of that. He was arguably the most talented of that bunch of guys at that time, the most notoriety. So it was a very interesting year for Raven, and just watching that's all I kept thinking about. But I believe that a very clunky finish to the match. But, that's what WCW, as you will come to see for this card, a lot of clunky booking for the rest of the night. And it started off, we like hot opening matches on this podcast. Well, we're gonna skip this show.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that, because when you said Raven and Perry Saturn was one of my all-time favorites back in the day from when I was a kid. He was a talent that was very special, like especially with the Eliminators. I went back and watched them.
Right.
I think Dom, you was the one that put me onto them, and I was like,
Saturn,
damn.
Cronus.
yeah, Saturn and whatever happened to Cronus? Where the hell did he go?
I do believe Cronus passed away.
Oh,
I believe he passed away. I think that was early 2000s.
wow.
I need to confirm that, but I do think he passed away.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Way ahead of his time for a big man. He reminds me a lot of Kevin Owens in this day and age, where he's a big dude. You don't see him. You don't look at Kevin Owens and like, think he's he can move like a cruiserweight. No way. And then Cronus is super kicking and doing some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Might be one of the few times I will be talking about him, but may you rest in peace, Cronus.
Yep. Total Elimination, still one of my all-time favorite finishers, man.
Oof.
High and low. It's pretty dope.
Yep.
All right, before I get into the finish of this match, John, I was doing some research about Raven and his ECW run, and he had his own little group. It wasn't called the Flock. You know what it was called?
No.
Raven's Nest.
Well,
It's cool.
What? If you thought Kidman smelled, I can't imagine what that would smell like.
plus he got sick boy. He's just
He's got that
Lord.
7-year itch.
Seriously.
Yeah.
well,
And-
you sure he didn't get it from Tori?
Yeah. And
That thing was pure as the white snow.
wow. To confirm what I was thinking, yeah, John
It's not
Cronus,
from
he died
Colombia,
in
man. It's not
2007.
from Colombia. It's not puro.
Funny as hell.
R.I.P. Cronus. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the finish of this match, we see two tables stacked on top of each other, and Raven is on the table. Saturn, he's going to the outside or to the top rope. He's getting to drop the elbow. Chris Canyon comes down there, pulls Raven, and clearly Saturn sees this.
Yeah.
And still goes for it.
He still dives and goes right through the damn table. And then Canyon helps Raven up, throws him in the ring, hits him with a flatliner. Like, what the hell? What the hell's going on over here? And then, long story short, Raven hits the even flow, the DDT on Saturn, and he gets the win.
Yep.
Strap,
Typical
does this match
WCW
matter?
booking.
For a double table spot that didn't hit on any level, absolutely. It was memorable for all the wrong reasons.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, so after this, we see Eddie Guerrero. He comes out. He's talking to me, Gene. He's talking about his hair versus hair match against his nephew, Chavo Guerrero. And Eddie said that he's going to cut Chavo's hair, and he's going to take him and send him back to Mama. And yeah, some promo.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to the match a little later. I'm just trying to remember. Chavo was Eddie's slave at the time.
I wouldn't say slave, but
he had the T-shirts. Eddie Guerrero's my favorite wrestler. I remember the shirt, so I'm kind of trying to figure this out.
I think it was like a big brother, little brother type deal, where because they even mentioned in the match they're only separated by 2 years. So is your uncle when your uncle is only about 2 years older than you? It's like
he's more like an older brother.
Yeah, he's more like your older brother. So the bickering and fighting it's a little bit different. Granted, you're not growing up in the same household for the most part, but you're still growing up together. So it's kind of like, all right, like Roman Reigns with the Usos, basically. He can pick on them all they want, and they had nothing they can do about it.
Yeah. All right. I was trying to think of a one-liner, but nothing came up to it yet. But all right, our next match, we have Juventud Guerrera taking on the itchy Billy Kidman. At this time, Juventud Guerrera, he has no mask, and I'm not sure, Strap, when did Juventud get unmasked?
I think it was around Super Brawl or Uncensored. I remember in school, like I never had the pay-per-views. I was always listening to the scrambled pay-per-view broadcast. But this guy, I think this is the second time he's ever come up on the show. His name is Ben Orlock, and I guess he watched the pay-per-view. And I was like, so, hey, I went up to him and said, hey man, do you know what happened on the pay-per-view last night? And he's like, Juventud got unmasked, and he's not an ugly guy. I was like, oh, okay, all right, he's not an ugly guy. I'm like, and then once eventually I saw him, I'm like, yeah, he's not an ugly guy. No. So, that's the thing. WCW unmasked all the luchadors at that time, and some were successes, some were not. Even in later on, like the first ECW One Night Stand, Psychosis took off his mask, and he kept botching the whole night, and everyone kept saying, "Put your mask on." Him doing that. Who else? Someone else did like a famous unmasking. It was kind of like, put it back.
Oh, that was the Rey Mysterio unmasking. Kevin Nash was telling him to put it back on his head.
It sounds cruel. Ray's a good looking dude too.
Yeah.
But that was earlier that year, and Juventud lost the mask during an earlier pay-per-view. Maybe to Jericho. I'm not sure.
I believe it was Jericho, because Jericho was unmasking guys left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which was, I know it wasn't his idea. Fucking Bischoff, idiot.
Well, it is now. He's doing it in AEW, so.
Well, that makes sense. But the way they were doing it back in the day, they weren't trying to make any money.
Yeah.
They had some good
Tell me when
numbers,
I'm telling lies, Dom.
They really ain't have no merch, though. They should have been selling these masks.
You know their idea of merch. Did you see later on in the show Dean Malenko's T-shirt?
That was a hot ass shirt. I want that shirt.
Yeah,
his eyes on the back. It says cold eyes. Or something.
I remember that one.
It said, Eyes on
Eyes
Ice.
as Ice. Yeah.
Eyes as Ice. Some shit like
Yeah.
that.
I don't like the name, but it's just something about it. Oh,
man.
fucking Dino.
All right. Well, this is Kidman's first pay-per-view match right here. And Bobby the Brain Heenan said he got his clean, dirty pair of jeans on right now. That was
What?
pretty funny. That was pretty funny. That little one-liner Bobby said.
Yeah.
Get Bobby.
But they were definitely getting the opportunity to shine right here. This match should have opened the show, and then they could have switched this with Raven and Saturn. Get the crowd hyped a little bit more, but you've seen some glimpse of hope for Kidman. Obviously, they're gonna push him in the next 2 years or so. The juice was loose. The juice was good. You can't go wrong with this. I enjoyed the match. Hoovy wins with the 450 clean.
Yep.
BDC, what are your thoughts on this match?
Oh, I like the match. I like the pace of it. It was really what you would come to expect of cruiserweights as far as the pacing of the match. You got to see a lot of their high flying ability. I love Billy Kidman's finish, so I was happy I got to see it, even though he missed. And Hoovy with that 450 was a thing of beauty. So I did enjoy this match thoroughly.
All right. Platinozilla, what about you? What are your thoughts on this match?
Very technically sound. It would be like basically what would become the X division down the road. These guys were high flying. They knew how to work with each other. I figure maybe like the language barrier might be a little bit difficult, but Hoovy knew his stuff, so they were able to communicate very well. You can see that in the ring, and like you said, Billy Kidman was showing signs of an up and coming guy. Unfortunately, the company would go down, and they weren't able to capitalize on all the cruiserweights that they had because they had the best of the best of the best.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, just mismanagement or whatever, backstage politics, or I have to read that Nitro book. It's really interesting. They had like one of the best runs in 3-4 years, and then kaputs, afuera. So,
it's amazing.
What are your thoughts on this match?
The strap is very amazing, and
okay,
all right. Hey, I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite matches on the card. Look, I'm wearing Billy Kidman's future attire, but
I'm wearing the one that's dirty.
you're the one feuding with Hulk Hogan. F you, B. But it was a very good. They put these matches on the pay-per-view for a reason, to excite the crowd, even though the crowd was kind of dead for it. They were in stunned silence. They just didn't know what they were watching, but they were mesmerized. Not really. But the most notable thing that I can recall is just like Bobby Heenan or whoever on commentary saying, Kidman, he's been a real slob lately, but he's dressed up for this pay-per-view. So
that's what he said. You got his clean, dirty jeans on.
Yeah,
that was pure Heenan.
Fucking Heenan.
Pure Heenan.
But for his historical purposes, if you're looking back on the show, you can find many matches just like this on any WCW programming of the time.
Yeah, didn't get a lot of hype, but they over-delivered all the time.
Yep.
All right, well, our next match, it definitely caught me off guard because I'm like, what the hell is going on here? We have Stevie Ray, who's down with the NWO, taking on Chavo Guerrero, and you see this match on the card, like, how the hell is this match taking place? Is there a robbery behind this? Well, Chavo comes out with some floaty and a super soaker.
And in the Eddie shirt.
Yeah, and the Eddie shirt, and he's playing like he's crazy. Like, the man, he was insane, and I don't get it. The match starts. He tries to shake his hand.
He taps.
He taps out. Like, what the hell?
I was like, huh?
I had to rewind it because I heard the bell ring. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Oh, my goodness. Because Eddie came down with some scissors, And Chavo said he's going to dedicate this match to his favorite wrestler, which is Eddie Guerrero. And yeah, bell rings, shake his hand, ding, ding. Oh, he tapped out. He dropped down to one knee. And Eddie Guerrero's like, what? What's going on? And then Chavo's like, oh, Eddie, I'm well rested. We can have our match now. Eddie's pissed off. He's
crazy like a fox.
Yeah, he's crazy like a fox. Eddie's pissed off. He's blaming Stevie Ray. Stevie's like, how the hell I know what he's going to do?
Right. Right. Oh. Stevie Ray was literally trying to pull his hand away like, what are you doing? he had no parts of it.
I think he almost broke because you can see he's trying not to laugh like in the corner. If you literally look into it, look in that match, it's like 2 minutes long. Yeah, oh my God. It was a fun segment right there. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it was a segment. It wasn't a match.
Did they explain why they even had a match, or he's just because he called him out? Just to have his uncle thinking that, oh, he's going to be fucking washed up before he gets to get in the ring with him?
I think he's trying to prove himself, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the purpose was that Eddie was going to go down there, watch Chavo get the snot beat out of him, and then just go in and kind of pin him and cut his hair. And Chavo was ready for him.
Yeah.
Which...
when the student becomes the master.
Yeah. I mean, I could kind of go through the matches I've ever seen in history. I don't think I've ever seen a handshake submission before, and I haven't seen one since. Bless you.
And that's plot news thought on that match.
Tell us how you really feel, bruh.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next match, we have Chavo and Eddie going at it. Yep. We have the uncle taking on the nephew, and it was pretty entertaining. Chavo, he bit Eddie's ass, and then Bobby Heenan, oh man, he was getting on Tony Schiavone. See, hey Tony, you ever did that before? So what are you talking about? It was funny. He just throwing jabs.
Oh,
just knowing how Tony Schiavone is now.
Tony just out there catching strays.
Tony right now compared to Tony back then, Tony would have had something to say to him about that. And then you can hear Mike Tenay just trying to keep it together. Tony can't do it.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting, and I don't know, Chavo, he was so fascinated on cutting his uncle's hair that he had the opportunity to win the match. Eddie missed the frog splash, and then Chavo grabbed the scissors, and Lil Nate took the scissors from him, and Eddie wins with a roll up, and then small package roll up, whatever, and yeah. Eddie was like, oh, time for me to cut your hair. And then Chavo would grab the clippers and just start cutting himself. Like, what the hell? What the hell is all that about? Strap? What led to this, man? You trying to show his uncle off?
So Dom seems really, really lost here, and that's okay. It's not his area of pro wrestling knowledge, But I mean, BDC kind of had it explained just a second ago. This whole segment, But you can't imagine that Eddie Guerrero was bullying his nephew, his 2 years younger nephew, for many months, and all that for many months culminated in this hair versus hair feud. And he had the Stevie Ray as a buffer. I mean, yes, on paper it just made no sense. Even when you ran the card down last week, it was kind of like Stevie Ray and Chavo. It's like, what the hell, so it was very curious. And as it played out, Chavo, because Chavo was portrayed as such a weakling to his uncle, his superior Uncle Eddie. So now Chavo is trying to outsmart his uncle, and so he outsmarted Stevie Ray. He outsmarted Eddie, but not to a point where he could win the match, because Eddie still stole the win. But to maintain that sense of, hey, I'm in control now. Yeah, he decided to shave his own head, go really crazy and wacky, and like freak his uncle out. I mean, it's it's something I've seen before. Maybe not in pro wrestling. I mean, only thing I can think of is like Shotzi Blackheart did that one crazy woman promo, and you've seen Chris Van Vliet reel about it. They told her never to do it again. It was too crazy. Charlotte Flair saying, "What Shotzi said?" Right. There's more to come with Chavo Guerrero's antics over the next coming years in WCW. He would become Lieutenant Loco in the Misfits in Action. So there's a little giveaway there. And he would sell Amway, and he would do infomercials in the back. I think Vince Russo liked him a little bit, so he gave him like some more things to sell, And he had Pokey. He had Pokey the stick. So the horse, yeah. So this was just leading, and something like this, you can take it and do a terrible job with it, like Beaver Cleavage, or you can take it, run with it, be like Sami Zayn, do the best you can with it, and get rewarded with a push later down the road, and Chavo wouldn't become a WrestleMania main eventer like Sami Zayn, but he got more notoriety, developed his character as a person. I mean, for himself, for real, more.
Right.
So it all benefited Chavo in the end, because before that, who was he? He was just a Guerrero wrestler on WCW Saturday Night. But now, dude can act. He's got some gimmicks. He's got some characters. So this really did help Chavo Guerrero. So whether you thought it was a good idea or not, leading up to it, how it came together, in the end, it created a more well-rounded professional wrestler named Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Completely agree with everything you just said, brother. Completely.
And he just got re-signed to the WWE. Not sure in what capacity, but he just got signed.
Yeah, you can't mess that up. Well, you better not mess that up. Not Chavo. Talking about the E.
I wouldn't even have him wrestle. I'll just have him.
You're not gonna have him wrestle,
huh?
You're not gonna. I wouldn't have him wrestle.
No, I wouldn't. I would just have him work with talent.
I wouldn't even. I would just have
an agent or work with AAA.
Yeah, that's probably what the
he could be that
is.
liaison.
He's probably in there for that.
I like that idea.
Be their HBK, Triple H type deal for them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very talented guy. He's helped a lot of wrestlers and a lot of stunt crews. I mean, he's the lead guy for Glow, and he might have done stuff with heels. So
he did.
So there you go. Guy that can get shows like that over. Yeah, I want him running my show.
Strap, you didn't mention that he shaved his armpit.
What?
Chavo. This is the first time ever a loser shaves his head. That's crazy.
Won't be the last.
Eddie, let me cut your hair. We could be twins.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Eddie's like, what is wrong with you? You're fucked up. See?
He's probably like, yo, Armando, what the hell's wrong with Chico over here?
All right, well, our next match, it was supposed to be Dean Malenko and Chris Jericho, but Dean Malenko, he snapped. He is suspended because Jericho kept poking the bear. He kept poking the bear, and the eyes got serious. It got crazy. He's all about the ice. Well, our next match is the Disco Inferno with Alex Wright taking on Conan. Oof, what a pairing. Disco and Alex Wright said they're down with the Hispanic community. They know a couple of sayings like Orale Vato and Viva la Raza and all other stuff like that. They out here keeping it 100.
Oh, my God.
Then after this, we see K-Dog come out with the Wolfpack Conan, and we see Lex Luger looking buff as ever.
That was the most lively you see in the crowd.
That theme song hot. That theme song is fire. I like that joint. Kevin Nash looking cool with the Big Daddy outfit. I forgot the brand he had on. What was it Big Daddy? Big Boy, something like that. It don't matter.
Oh, he wore a lot of FUBU. I knew that.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He wore a ton of FUBU.
But yeah, Conan's hot. He's whooping on Disco. He's hyping up the crowd. Then Disco, he throws Conan outside the ring. And Alex Wright, he starts giving it to Conan, throws him back in the ring. Then Luger just come out of nowhere, torture racks him. Just playing with the fan, just right in the front row. Disco's looking like, what the hell is going on? Kevin Nash, sunglasses on, Big Daddy Cool on the other side of the pillow, big boot, a one-handed jackknife to Disco Inferno. I'm like, wait, is that one hand? I had to hit the rewind right quick. One-handed jackknife to Disco Inferno. Then Conan with the Tequila Sunrise, which is still one of the hottest submissions. I don't know why Jey Uso don't bring that move back.
It don't need to be his.
Call it the DUI Sunrise, and yeah. K-Dog with the win.
Leave it
Strap.
down.
What are your thoughts on this match right here?
Man, what a surprise! I mean, you announced this is like a bonus match, and here comes the Wolfpack. It's like, because you're wondering up and down this card, like, where the hell is like the hottest act of this era of WCW? One of them, and it's like they're not represented at all. And I don't know how appearances versus run-ins versus that, or having a full match is part of your contract, but man, Lex Luger and Kevin Nash probably just like, oh yeah, I'll give them some extra money to do absolutely nothing, but they did add some star power to the match, even though they were not in the match, but they were heavily involved in the match. So this match is very notable for everything but the two guys actually in the match, Conan and the Disco Inferno. But it was just crazy WCW booking, man. That's just what was part of it. So here's a prime example of wasted money, wasted talent, and wasted booking.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't mess with the Wolfpack.
Wait, that is not the message.
This is water.
Oh, Lord. Thank God.
All right, well, our next match, we have NWO member The Giants taking on the mean Kevin Greene. Kevin Greene, a former football player for the Carolina Panthers. And watching this, I had to think, I'm like, it seemed like the Giant, Big Show, Paul White, whatever you want to call him, he always had these special attraction type of matches. He always fought the football player. He fought Akibono. He got knocked out by Mayweather. Like, why do they keep doing this to Paul
Shaq.
White, Big Show? Yeah, Shaq, all of them. Why do they keep doing it to Paul White?
I mean, he is an attraction if you think about it. If you back in the day, they think they had Andre versus Muhammad Ali. You want to put a big guy like that. You don't want to overexpose him, and you want to bring these special guys in once in a while to get the crowd going, or just to see something different. I mean, granted, he was a better athlete than most of the guys there anyway. At his age, he's only like 23, 24 at this time. Former world champion already. Come on, you don't find guys like that, 7 feet, can move like he's a technician. Yeah. It's very rare. I mean, unfortunately, the injuries got to him down the road. But hey, back in the day, as soon as you saw him, you were like, "Yep, sitting down. Let's see what's gonna happen."
All right, well, it's a special attraction. Why have it tonight? Because our main event is Hollywood Hogan, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone, and DDP. So why have two? You take away from one another,
Who's booking?
Chavo Guerrero.
Stop it. You know that. How's those stadiums looking over in Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Right. For that freestyle. Was it Cleveland?
Moving on.
Tell me when I'm telling lies again, Dom.
I don't know.
Yeah, you tell him. You tell him.
Remember what I said long time ago when he had 3 good ideas. And those are all in the past.
Oh, you're talking about that show? Oh, I forgot.
Yep. Every other idea? Sorry. I respect him, legend, but
That Wrestling That Made Us hasn't come out yet.
Coming soon.
And answer that message, would you?
What message?
I don't know. I mean, there's only two things I can think of for why Kevin Greene is facing the Big Show. The easiest one is to say is that Kevin Greene probably signed a contract to do a match in his off season. He did one in '96. Maybe he did one in '97. I don't know. '98. Here's another one. And it's easy payday for something that he probably enjoys to do. He's like a past version of McAfee, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the second thing would be like, why do they book two celebrity matches on this show? It could be like WrestleMania X8, where like, sorry, Ric Flair, once again, you had a great match with The Undertaker, but you're overshadowed again by Hollywood Hulk Hogan and The Rock. Does anyone remember? Come on, right?
Yeah.
Here, everyone knows Hollywood Hogan and The Rock. Oh, what a big comeback. You know who else had a big comeback that night? The Nature Boy Ric Flair. And like, I've watched both matches many times. I love the spectacle of Hogan Rock. He was my first pick for the Wrestling That Made Us. Very a lot of nostalgia too for Ric Flair and The Undertaker. Just great match as well, So those were great matches. What wasn't a great match? Kevin Greene and the Giant.
It wasn't.
Sorry.
Yeah. Kevin Greene just kept trying to, to use his speed, his athleticism towards the Giant, trying to take him off his feet and whatnot. And he did every single typical big man move, the clothesline, kicking the legs, trying to take the man down. But basically finishing the match, you don't mess with the Giant. Catch him with a choke slam, match over. Boom.
And that choke slam was in slow motion.
Yeah, you gotta protect the guy.
Very slow motion.
Yeah, he knows if he hurt him, the Carolina Panthers would have kicked his bowling.
Yeah.
Well, here he left them, so I don't know. Who was he playing for at this time?
Who?
Kevin Greene at that time.
I think at that point, I think they mentioned that I was about to say, I think at that point they mentioned that he was with the Niners. So that's the reason why he was in the red.
Yeah, you seen the come on, John. You should know that one.
I know. Maybe I was just leading these guys on to say what I wanted them to say.
I keep forgetting you are California.
Yeah.
God damn, those ticket prices are high. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, we see Curt Henning backstage with Marshall. Marshall. Right?
Lee Marshall. Yeah,
Lee Marshall.
Yeah. The Frosted Flake dude.
They're great.
Frosted Tips.
Frosted Tips, yes.
Well,
and he's discussing on how he's going to defeat Goldberg, saying that he got 17 years in the business and blah, blah, blah. Here's going to be another number, buddy.
Yep. He's got experience. He's got experience, and he's got the lungs. Okay. Lungs don't help when you're getting speared half to death.
No.
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Straight up.
All right. Well, after this, we seen what really happened with Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko. And Jericho, like I said, he kept pushing. Dean Malenko kept poking the bear. Both our followers on the road. Endless nights. And basically, long story short, saying, as followers in the hotel room, that's why you and your brother look completely different. So,
he went gutter. He went gutter.
They haven't even got to the best part of this rivalry yet because I think Dean would be suspended for like a few months or so, and then I won't ruin it for another show. So.
Yeah, long story short, it has something to do with a mysterious masked wrestler. A mysterious masked wrestler. Yeah,
Again, I think that already happened, but that's okay.
You think so?
I think so. I think it happened at Slamboree.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. It's over.
That was one of my That was one of my favorite moments as a kid. And I didn't even really pay attention until I was like, oh, it's the Iceman.
Gee, put a mask on a guy, he starts dancing like Stardust, you know?
Oh,
Very...
could be hot, could be spicy.
It could be Curry Man.
No. All right. Well, Chris Jericho, he comes down to the ring. He has a little top hat. He has a little cane. He's gonna put on a show for the fans since he ain't wrestling tonight. Well, we get JJ.
He had the walls of Jericho.
Yep. The music. Yeah, we talked about that plenty of times. Yes.
Yeah.
He don't have his WCW theme song. He has his WWE version.
It makes no sense at all.
They don't want to pay for the copyrights.
Still don't make no sense at all.
Yeah. All right.
I did like that old school version.
Yeah. Well, JJ said that he's gonna wrestle. The people want to see him wrestle, and he's gonna wrestle this man right here, and it's Rey Mysterio. And
hold on. He said,
he's
a local guy.
He's a local guy. And what did they say? He was a local guy. Something about not being there for 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, he hasn't been here.
Hasn't been here in 6 months. Yeah,
6 months.
Yeah,
really?
Injury, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he hasn't been there in 6 months and 19 days.
Boom.
Oh, nice.
That would have been so awesome.
that would have been so cool. You know, WCW ain't thinking that though.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah. All right. So we have the returning Rey Mysterio taking on Chris Jericho for the Cruiserweight title. And this is no disqualification. So you can do whatever you want. These guys fighting the aisleway. Rey Mysterio, he gets on a lifeguard chair, hits Jericho with a Hurricane Rana.
That was
fighting into the sand. Into the sand.
That could have been dangerous. That's the way he landed.
Could have killed Rey.
I'm like, damn, Rey.
Could have killed Rey.
You just got back. You look like $1 million again, and better than he was before. And then,
absolutely.
Then you decapitate yourself.
I like the trunks he had on. That was pretty different. It was like the lemonade type of joints. Yeah. Strap, they got any old school Rey Mysterio action figures like that with the question marks?
Oh yeah,
Rey Mysterio didn't really have any WCW merchandise.
Oh my goodness!
Mattel and Jax they put out tons of Rey Mysterio figures. So maybe one of them. I mean, they did release one in his Halloween Havoc '97 full body suit.
Yeah,
that purple one.
The Phantom.
That probably has a question mark or two on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think on the sides, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But no, he kind of just went to the cross mostly, or his mask, versus having question marks on his gear. Once he was in WWE.
Hated those parachute pants.
That was a style then, big baggy back in the day.
I know, just for me, it just didn't fit him. Then again, whatever.
Obviously not. It's baggy.
Not like that, damn it.
You know why Shawn Michaels wore them? He's got skinny legs. Ray too, so.
Why Shawn Michaels wear so high? SummerSlam '93.
Keep all the drugs in the belt.
Speaking of high, Booker T has some high ass pants. Carl Malone has some high ass pants. DDP has some high ass pants. Oh my lord! And this
they were like hitting the ribs. I was like, damn, bro.
Carl Malone's a tall guy.
Trying to keep it in. All right. Well, Rey Mysterio, he won with a distraction because Dean Malenko came out. Jericho got sidetracked. Jericho had Rey Mysterio in the Lion Tamer, not the Walls of Jericho. The Lion Tamer. That's when that knee is inserted in the back of that back. Well, in the back. And
the small of the back.
Yeah, I had never seen this before. Somebody basically crawled through and reversed it into a pinfall for reversal.
I've never seen that either. That's why I was like,
unique.
What did I miss?
Right there. Somebody do that to Jericho.
Well, you gonna have it?
I don't know. Somebody.
Danny Magic. I'm just kidding.
You still around?
Yeah, he's still calling. I think Collision.
All right. Well, I enjoy this match. This match definitely doesn't matter. BDC, what about you? What do you think?
I'm a fan of cruiserweight action, and Jericho has always been able to kind of step up to whomever he's facing. So, despite the distraction, which really wasn't a distraction, he literally just came out and all of a sudden Rey Mysterio was pinning him. It was a decent match for me. I thought Malenko would have went in there and got some hands in since it was a no DQ, but he never even made it to the ring. So,
Platino?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I love the match. Once you heard Rey Mysterio was coming back, all right, time to sit back and see some action. And it was pretty much nonstop from beginning to end. I like the storyline where Jericho was the one to put him out on injury, so to bring him back in his hometown and then give him that, that love of getting the title back, that was all perfectly planned out. So it was good for me. It does matter.
Strap.
Yes. Yeah, it was a very, very fun surprise. I mean, I didn't anticipate it because I didn't look at the. I know you probably said it in the preview, but I didn't remember. But it's like, oh yeah, it's Rey Mysterio. That's a great, and see him do that Hurricanrana and almost butchering his knee in the sand again. Good Lord. But it was a short but sweet match, and it was fun. Just a short. I mean, there's not much. It was a very short match. It's not too much to say, but definitely didn't overstay its welcome. There's a fun little bit, especially they didn't really do hometown hero kind of things in WCW. So it was just nice. It was just a nice little thing for this show to have. So. Cool.
This match matters. All right, our next match. Reading the card last week, I look forward to this match. We have Bret the Hitman Hart taking on Booker T for the WCW television title. And when Bret came out to the NW music, I was not feeling it. For some reason, I know we discussed Bret Hart's WCW run, and I really don't remember this match. And it seemed like Bret he's still off. That screw job still messing with him. I'm not sure if this is his character now, just to be that arrogant, pissed off Canadian, but I don't know. But I look forward to this match. The match happened. Booker T comes out 1998, probably one of Booker T's best years in wrestling, besides when he was a king. But he was over. Had all the white folks raising the roof. They was out there. I hate they call that shit raising the roof. But
what is it called?
That's Disco Inferno. I don't know. I just didn't like the name because I felt like they said it every damn time. In 1998.
I mean, my sister was in college. I don't know what else it was called. That's what it was. That's what she called it.
Yeah, it's been called since we was kids.
I mean,
they might do that.
Called Sisters with Kids.
I said that's what we've been calling since we was kids.
Well, my thing is that's what it was called. The thing of it was though is it was just their need to say that every time you saw it. It was that's what it's like. It didn't bother me that they said, "Oh yeah, he's raising the roof." Okay, we know what that means. But literally every time he came out, they made sure that they threw in that the folks was out there raising the roof, and it's like, okay, overexposure at this point.
Yeah.
BDC, did you know that Rico Constantino was a Las Vegas cop? My friend Tommy Bo would always mention that. He's like, because JR would always say that on commentary. There's Rico. He's a Las Vegas cop. It's like, yeah, and great,
Oversaturated. That's all.
Overexposed, oversaturated. Yeah.
Who cares?
Or a lot of Vince McMahonisms through Michael Cole. So and so is fun to watch.
Oh, jeez.
Like Rey Mysterio is fun to watch, and that's just one of those things. Vince pushed that through his voice, Michael Cole. Things like that. So, yeah, they do. It does get very sickening.
Yeah, I think that's his vintage line now. Whenever he says vintage, I'm like,
oh yeah, vintage or ends. Oh God.
vintage Orton, vintage. I'm like, oh come on, like no, just let it be.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just let it
enjoy
be.
it.
There's so many. If we wrote them down, we would cringe at every single one. But
Yeah.
I mean, they run everything ad nauseum to death.
Mhm.
So
Can't
There's
say it was
another
his
one.
fault though.
Yeah, he's just doing this.
That was the old man.
trying to get
You
something.
can hear
over.
you hear a huge difference the way Michael Cole was calling the matches and stuff now compared to
Oh yeah.
back in the day. You can
Oh,
tell he was a
He's
puppet back
rejuvenated.
then. Now
He's rejuvenated.
he's the puppet master.
Thank you, Pat.
Dance.
Pat
Yep.
Weddle.
Come on, Pat.
Yeah, they even noted how he seems different since Pat's been away and Corey Graves has been on there. That he's been kind of more of a robot. He hasn't been as lively as he is when Pat's there.
It just shows. It just shows how. I mean, Cole. Maybe in a good way. He's very much a chameleon when it comes to who his partner is. I mean, we're so old. I can still recall. Taz and Michael Cole still being a great team.
Yes.
For me. And then Michael Cole, he did a great job with. He does a great job with Wade Barrett. He does a great job with Corey
JBL.
Graves. Does a great job
JBL.
with JBL. Does a great job with Pat McAfee. So does well with everyone except
Yes,
Adnan Virk. Remember him?
Well,
That dude did not do well with anyone.
Oh my lord.
feel bad for him.
Or,
I'm not talking about.
Actually,
I'm not talking about
wait.
Bert, I'm talking about Cole.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh, that'll put butts in seats.
Well, it could have been worse. He could have had his run with Mike Adamle.
Jeff Harvey.
You know what? I will give him a pass because we did not understand what CTE was all about, and he was unfortunately a victim of it.
Man, I got nothing to do with CTE. I got the damn script right in front of me. I fumble on words every week. I ain't got no CTE. Yeah, I said, oh, Jeff Harvey, I might have typed that shit up. So I could just been fucking him with some shit like that, man.
I'm just glad that Joe Tessitore impressed immediately because that's great. That's just great. That other guy that was on commentary on Raw for a while.
Oh, from NXT?
No, he's just a white dude. That's all I know. He was on Raw for like 2 years.
Not Morrow.
Not Morrow. No, after that.
Morrow was actually really, really
Morrow
worth
was
the
real good.
Yeah.
listen.
He was like, I don't even know his name.
I don't know who you're talking about though. No.
Oh, I know you're talking about Corey Graves' partner on that damn podcast. God.
What
Oh.
is that? Big Joseph?
No.
Yes.
No.
I think it's Vic.
No, he was a
Not
bald guy. I think he was a bald dude. He was a white dude, and he came from like Real Sports or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh my god, I can't think of the name though.
Yeah.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
It was very short lived. I remember that.
It was like I want to, I can't remember the years. WrestleMania during Dallas and probably the one after that.
Oh my god,
was.
I know who it is. Was he like UFC or something like that?
Yeah, or I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, our listeners are gonna kill us.
UFC.
You said a UFC?
Yeah. Something I don't know. Can't even look it up. Anyway.
Too bad it's not Joe Rogan.
Or Gene Okerlund.
Yeah. Wow.
No, wait. Didn't he also work for Sirius Satellite as well?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Fight
I believe
Nation.
so.
Oh my god.
We'll figure it out later.
You sure will.
I'm gonna look it up.
Before the end of the show, we'll figure it out. All right, let's get back into the next topic in hand, brother.
Because Booker T and Bret Hart raising the roof, and
I gotta say, man, I hated the ending of the match, but what a match! I was like, oh, come on, that's how you're gonna end this? This is gonna be good. You got Bret, a generational superstar, and then Booker T coming up and basically turning into another generational superstar. Oh man, the two guys I love from both companies, I was in heaven, man. I was in heaven.
Yep.
I just hated the way it ended. And it's like Don was saying, why was he acting like a whiny little bitch? Like, come on, I get it. You got screwed over, but get over it. Jesus.
You're not even in that company anymore, and you're so pissed off about that.
You know who's not in the company anymore? Jimmy Smith. That's
Yeah,
the name
that
of the commentator that we're talking about.
Yes,
Oh.
Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
The whitest
I don't
name
even
in
think
history, Jimmy Smith.
I don't even think he's still on Sirius Satellite.
All right. Anyway, but yeah,
No, I
Booker,
think he's part of Fight Nation.
Yeah, Sirius Satellite.
He's definitely doing something with UFC.
Yep.
Now there's like no good Bret Hart match in 1998. There's a lot of name value with the Booker T, with Sting, with Hogan in 1998. He had those matches. Does anyone remember them? Not for any good reason. They all sucked because they all had interference, non-finishes, botched finishes. They were terrible. So it is very sad to see Bret Hart here. And they already turned him heel. God damn it! It's like, why? So
It's
disappointing.
If you want to hear our thoughts on Bret Hart and WCW, check the archives. We talked about it, and Strap went in detail on his take because I really don't remember that time of Bret Hart. I just know it was a bad time for the Hitman.
Yeah. Literally, the only thing I remember about Bret Hart's entire run in WCW is that he got Goldberg to spear him with something metal around his waist and knocked him out. That's what I remember about Bret Hart's entire WCW run.
That's pretty much the only memorable thing about that whole run. Sadly.
I mean, Bret Hart would be attempted to get rehabbed in WCW, and that was the beginning of one of them. But unfortunately, Owen passed away around that time too, and then he was getting a decent push. Still bad creative, but at least he was a main eventer again. That was also covered in that episode.
Yes, and we did talk about his tribute match for Owen with Chris Benoit, and we talked about his heavyweight title match against Chris Benoit. So, 2 good matches. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Where you can go wrong is this next match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, yeah. Booker T wins by disqualification, by the way.
And Stevie Ray was walking to the ring like, my brother's getting hurt.
Forget, Booker T. All right.
Oh, yeah, and Bret and our team NWO.
Let me let the people know what happened. Booker T went for a dive. Bret Hart got a steel chair.
Crack.
Ash. Yeah, she cracked Booker T. Ding, ding, ding. Match is over. Booker T wins by disqualification. And then Bret just goes crazy. Had this man in the figure 4. On the goddamn microphone. Had him with the figure 4 on the ring apron like we've seen before. On the ring post, which I loved. And he had it in for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I love that move.
He was also bashing my man's leg in. And Stevie Ray, he walked out.
Like he had all day.
Man. Yeah, come on, man. You need to get back the way you were, man. He looked real disgusted. Grabbed the belt. He helped him up. I was like, okay, maybe he's going to turn on my man. Nah, he didn't. He helped his brother to the back. Through thick and thin. All right. Well, this match had a lot of potential of being a match that mattered, but it didn't. Bad booking. That match had some time. Booker looked good. He brought it to Bret, and I don't know, just bad overall. So it doesn't matter for me, at least.
Doesn't matter to me either, unfortunately. Sad, too.
That's a no for me, dog.
And unanimous for Strap. He's signed.
Just a shake of the head.
That's it. All right, so after this, we get a video package of Hollywood Hulk Hogan with the NWO. He's saying that he's going to give a member of the NWO a lucky shot to break the streak of Goldberg. Then we show Goldberg. We see Goldberg winning the title from Hogan in the Georgia Dome. Maybe he might win the title this upcoming week in Atlanta. But that's another story. We'll talk about that next week. Goldberg beat Hogan for the title. He's standing tall at the Georgia Dome, Atlanta, Georgia. He got the WCW heavyweight title, WCW United States Championship title. Here we go. Big fight feel. We got Michael Buffer as the ring announcer. You already know what time it is. We have Mr. Perfect, Curt Henning taking on Goldberg. Henning comes out with a Goldberg t-shirt saying who's next. He unfolded the t-shirt and said Goldberg. He threw that shit in the crowd. I wouldn't mind having that t-shirt right there. Henning looked good. He looked like Mr. Perfect got old right there. But this is Bill Goldberg. It's the monster that they created. Goldberg hit him with all the power moves, hit him with that roll, the leg roll, takedown, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Then Henning start working on Goldberg's leg for a little bit. Then he hit him with the Henning Plex, perfect plex. 1, 2. Goldberg kicks out. He gets up. He spears him. Jackhammers.
Over.
Goldberg 112-0.
Jeez.
Strat, what are your thoughts on this match?
I mean, originally it was going to be for the U.S. heavyweight title. That's what it was going to be. It would have ended and been booked the same way, probably. Curt Henning, well respected by everyone, by the boys, by the fans. But was he going to get more out of Goldberg than we saw here? Probably not. It would have ended the same way, whether it's for the world title or it's for the U.S. title, whether there's more time on the show or less time on the show, it would have been booked exactly the same. That's just what Goldberg was in 1998. So if you're looking for match quality, you're not going to find it. You're looking for something, this ain't it. You're looking for something, a little bit of excitement. Snap into this match, and you'll enjoy that much about it.
Oh, yeah.
Where's he at? Where he at in 98?
He had a knee injury.
And he'll be coming back with a little bit of madness. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, man, he's gone for a long
Madness.
time.
Miss Madness and Gorgeous George.
Yes, sir. BDC, your thoughts on this match right here?
Perfect.
Next. Exactly, just like Goldberg. Next.
Palatino?
Same thing. Next.
Well, he don't get paid by the hour. It's a Goldberg match. It is what it is. You hype the crowd up. He's still your heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Like the guy, but after a while, it's the same formula.
One trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
Like just then, one trick pony.
Hey, that's why I like oatmeal raisins. I don't like chocolate chip all the time.
I'm gonna just leave that alone.
Yeah, all right.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
All right, well, it's your main event.
On my Bret. Bret always have a different match.
Yes.
You get a different cookie.
Yeah, he like chocolate. All right. Well, the main event, we have Hollywood Hogan with his tag team partner, Dennis the Worm Rodman, still at this time with the Chicago Bulls, taking on Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone, still at this time on the Utah Jazz. And it's playoff series time. Rodman's not at practice. He's skipping practice to be with the NWO. He's out there partying, doing that lifestyle thing. And here we go. I'll let BDC kick off with this match right here. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought Karl Malone was really into it. He seemed really, really into it. And as somebody who watched Karl Malone on the court, I could say that he was showing emotions that he never showed on the court. He was really, really into it.
Must be the pants.
Definitely the pants. but it was crazy. It was like the Karl Malone and Hogan seemed pretty clean. Of course, DDP is professional, so whether he was in there with Rodman or he was in there with Hogan, he did the best he could. Rodman just looked like he just woke up out of bed and showed up. Like literally, like every time I turned around, he was botching something. Like he literally almost killed DDP. He almost killed DDP. He was too slow on the turn. It was just like there was a bunch of things. It was just wreaking havoc in my head. I'm like, why is this dude just messing this whole match up? But I mean, it was all right. it could have been better if maybe Rodman wasn't as big a part of it as he was. But it was all right. It was all right. I think the ending of the show past the decision was just literally a case of they had 15 minutes to burn and didn't know what to do with it. So then they just decided to just leave the NWO on camera for that entirety of that 15 minutes, and they started running out of shit to say and things to do. So, it was an okay match that turned into a train wreck. Is the best way I could say it.
All right. Platinozilla, what you got?
I gotta disagree with you on a little bit on that because a lot of these celebrity matches look like crap. Yeah, Zilla was a little bit off here and there, but you mentioned Karl Malone. He was jacked. He was moving. Yep. He was bumping.
He was definitely into it.
He was all about it. I gotta say he doesn't get mentioned a lot because of Pat McAfee and some of these other guys, but for celebrity guys to come in and do it with these pro wrestlers, I gotta give Karl Malone his props, man.
Yep.
I forgot how talented he was, and he probably could have been a pretty talented wrestler if he really wanted to. Unfortunately, basketball was his game, so that's where you make your bread. But he had all the tools, man. All the tools. So
yeah, well, I don't want to make it seem like I was just saying that Karl, because as I said, Karl Malone was into it. He did his job.
Yeah,
he did what he was supposed to do out there. He, like I said,
he exceeded everything that I thought.
When he was out there with Hogan, he looked really good. It was just like I said, Rodman just kind of gummed up the works for everybody. For me,
yeah, he probably did that during practice too. So they were just all right. Let him do his thing, get the rebounds.
Yeah. Practice.
Not the game.
You're talking about practice, man.
Not the game that we love. You talking about practice.
Practice, man.
I'm about to go back to the hotel and do my wife. Karma lecture. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or somebody backstage. Sorry.
That too.
Strap. Want to hear your thoughts. Want to hear your knowledge. What are your thoughts on this main event match between Hollywood Hogan, Dennis the Worm Rodman, DDP, and the mailman, Karl Malone?
It was a very interesting thing, I mean, it seems like this is what WCW had a knack for. I mean, it started the year before. It was Lex Luger and the Giant versus the Worm and Hogan. One and the same, I guess. But so year number 2, 1998, another big superstar, the return of Hogan and Rodman versus another team, DDP, growing to be the hottest WCW superstar there was, and team with Karl Malone, and they had a real life component in the NBA Finals there, and so it was just a very interesting match. And one of the things I can remember noting was on Raw the next night, Jerry the King Lawler saying, "The mailman, I heard the mailman didn't deliver last night," But as a matter of fact, he's the only one that did. So
yeah,
Dennis Rodman showed up unprofessional, partied too hard, but Karl Malone, not Kevin Malone, no.
Kevin Malone's from the office. See, Jeff Harvey.
Carl Urban, Karl Malone. He's got
Urban.
Give the man his whatever he wants in lieu of flowers, because he deserved it. He was jacked. He looked really good. He did great for what he was probably trained and capable for. So kudos to him. Just as you said, Rodman nearly killing DDP on some of those basic maneuvers, and they asked for extra time, and they didn't need it because I can imagine, just like you said, it's like, can you imagine just at the end of the show, NWO, just keep going. It's like, how many times did you shake hands, man? Oh yeah, ooh.
Good job, yeah. All right,
ooh, yeah. It's just,
we lost, but look, we're with the crowd, yay! Oh
man, I mean, I didn't, Dom didn't remember how the match ended, and I was still surprised to see the heels taking the victory. It's like, why? Why, man?
The dumbest ending ever for me.
Did they have a conclusion to this little rivalry? Did they have like another match the next pay-per-view, or did it just
They
kaput?
followed up this great
Oh no.
pay-per-view the next month at Road Wild with the World Heavyweight Champion Goldberg going 1 against NWO Black and White, a lot of them.
the Battle Royal. He eliminated
And
everybody.
The NWO Wolfpack. And Hogan was once again in the main event, teaming with Eric Bischoff, I think,
Versus Jay Leno.
versus Jay Leno, a man I highly enjoyed at the time. That's right.
Oh,
And sorry, too late. You already picked August. And Jay Leno and Diamond DDP again, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think we covered that. Oh,
I think we
98,
did.
never mind.
Did we?
We might have,
What was
yeah.
it, 90? Did we cover 98 or 99?
98.
Road Wild 98. Yeah.
Which one was
We
it?
did
Macho
99.
Man and was it Macho Man and Sid?
That was
That was
99.
Yeah, that was
99.
99.
I know we
okay,
covered that
okay.
one. Yeah, we covered 99. We didn't cover that match.
Man, listen,
Oh.
I have Road Wild 98 on VHS, used copy from Blockbuster.
Yo, you might want to take that back. There might be a fee on it about 17 years now.
Well,
Blockbuster Video? You've already been fucked.
go.
Look, there's that one location still in Oregon. You better watch out. They might come for it. They might come for it.
Who knows about this? Alaska. Yeah. This main event, I mean, my memory served it better than actually watching it. Like, I thought it was a cool spectacle, but man, it was a spectacle, but it was very underwhelming as a whole and under-delivered. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a car crash of a show, this whole show is it, man. And can the main event save it? Absolutely not. But it's just, yeah. Well, that's not the wrap-up of the show, but that's for the main event. It was just disappointing, like many WCW main events of the time.
Right. Like they could have really done the world a service and just had Hogan and Goldberg at that pay-per-view as opposed to on the Nitro beforehand.
DVC, that
like
took some
2 weeks
thought,
later.
and that's something WCW didn't use.
Exactly.
I'll drink to that.
Oh man. Well, yes, Karl Malone, he looked pretty impressive. DDP, can't go wrong with DDP. He had a lot of heart, he had a lot of fire at this time. Hogan's Hogan. And yeah, the Worm, he wasn't
He was a train wreck.
He wasn't fully invested in this match right here. So I was surprised that the heels got the win, and then after that, Karl Malone just started diamond cutting people.
Yeah. Little Nate, everybody got it. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's
He
why
was
the
like,
show
"We won the
dropped
match.
there 5 minutes.
We won the match. No, you didn't. We won the match. No, you didn't. Is he right? We didn't win the match? No. Okay, cut him."
Yep.
See, that's what happened. That's what happened. Big country bumpkin. He didn't know he won the match in that. So
He too busy. He was too busy rolling in the hay with Robin outside the ring to realize that that there was interference and DDP got pinned.
oh my lord.
That was another WCW staple. Their tag team partners went aloof at pinning moments.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the conclusion of Bash at Beach 1998. Strap facts. Does this show matter?
If you like WCW in a terrible way for bad reasons, yes, it does matter. It's a perfect example of just WCW at its best and worst at the same time. But as a pure wrestling, just no. If you're a modern fan, don't bother. If you're a modern pro wrestling fan, you like AEW, you like NXT, don't even give this show any part of your mind. So you know what? This show doesn't matter for you, buddy.
BDC doesn't matter for you.
It absolutely matters in the least mattering of ways.
So no.
Take what you will.
Take it with a grain of salt flying through the wind.
All right, that's a no. Platinozilla, you.
It's a no for me, brother. It's too much chaos. Too much chaos to stay relevant and pay attention. There's only be one.
Yes.
Champion.
And as for me, this show does not matter. It flew by. You want to get a quick 2.5 hours of watching something? Check it out. But it doesn't matter. Not one match really matter. So.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is the fact that we all agreed that this show was chaotic, but this would be the formula of WCW moving forward.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that was their downfall too.
Well, speaking of their downfall, next week is BDC's choice. And we're going to do another bash at the beach. We're taking it to 2000. I haven't seen this show in its entirety. I know what happened. There was a lot of bullshit that took place on this show. They even had an episode on Dark Side of the Ring. Check that out. Now I'm going to run through this card right quick. BDC, what the hell are you guys watching? Because here we go. In our opening match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship, we have Lieutenant Loco taking on Juventud Guerrera.
Okay.
Which one is Loco? Is that Chavo?
Yes.
All right. And after this, we have a hardcore match for the Hardcore Championship. We have Big Vito taking on my man
Norman Smiley? Oh.
Norman Smiley.
Okay.
And now you know one of the reasons I chose this one.
Okay, yes. I might want these 2 for 2.
Smiley's my dude. Smiley's
in our next match, we have a wedding gown match.
Oh, never mind.
We have Daphne with Crowbar taking on Miss Hancock and David Flair with David Flair. Oh, got John choked up over there.
Daphne's in here?
Yeah, she's alive.
There.
Damn.
Yep.
All right.
In our next match, we have a tag title match. Yes. We have Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark taking on the Perfect Event of Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo.
Yo. Oh, man. I'm not saying that. Sean O'Hare died way too early.
Yes, he did.
He was way ahead of his time.
That dude had superstar written all over him.
Yeah.
Just like WCW.
WCW has something else written all over it and ultimately came to pass.
All right, our next match, we have Chris Kanyon taking on Booker T.
Who's better than this match?
Who better than Kanyon? And WCW, pretty much everybody.
Booker.
What was the match he got thrown off that damn Triple Cage cell that they tried to kill him? Oh, my Lord.
I think it was later during this year or a year before.
Yeah, it's 2000, 2001, one of them. Probably 2000.
Mm-hmm.
It had to have been 2000.
Oof.
Yeah, damn. That was right after Ready to Rumble, too, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
X marked the spot. They missed.
That's a dangerous-ass freaking bump.
All right, our next match for the WCW United States Championship, we have Mike Awesome taking on Scott Steiner with Madeja.
The fat chick thriller with Freakzilla.
I don't know. He could be the fat chick. He could be the 70s guy. He could be one of them. I don't know. You gotta ask Strap. What's Mike Awesome's gimmick in 2000?
I think he's the 70s guy at this point.
Turncoat.
I had something. I ain't gonna say it.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
All right.
All right, our next match. Hold on. Now I'm thinking about it. What the hell was Sting in 98? Now I'm thinking about it.
Exactly. He was. He should have been at Bash at the Beach. He should have been at Bash at the Beach also.
Yeah, what the hell is
good point.
What the?
Looking at this card, I'm like, wait, where the hell is he?
Okay. Just for a second here, you know, I know too many of you guys were very happy when the Wolfpack came out, and I know I'm alone in this. We're very happy to see you hear the Wolfpack music, and here comes Conan. Not me. I did not like watching Conan. I did not like him. I wanted to see Lex Luger, Kevin Nash, or Sting. Macho Man was in it. Okay, that's the Wolfpack. That's the four of them. What, four? Four of them, right?
Yep.
It was always fucking Conan. And I didn't like it. Ever. It was always fucking Conan. It was
True.
never Sting, it was never Luger, and it was never Nash. And it drove me nuts every time. Just like Bash at the Beach.
Oh Lord, where the hell was Sting at?
Sting would take his hiatus after he fought Bret Hart at Halloween Havoc '98. He would disappear for a couple months, but he was still available through all of '98.
Well, he's not on this card either. Maybe you don't like Bash at the Beach. You can stick it. All right, our next match, we have a graveyard match between Vampiro and the Demon. Do you guys remember who the Demon is?
No.
Yes. The demon.
From
The
Kiss.
demon is Dale Torborg.
Torborg, yes.
Jeff Torborg's kid.
I don't know who that is. All right.
Jeff Torborg is an MLB manager.
Good to know.
Yep.
All right, well, our next match, we have Shane Douglas taking on Buff Bagwell. We have a World Heavyweight Championship. We have Hollywood Hulk Hogan taking on Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, remember that Stevie Ray and Chavo Guerrero match?
Which one's worse?
And
Tell me when I'm
this,
telling lies.
after this, we have a singles match for Scott Hall's contract, for his WCW contract. We have Goldberg taking on Kevin Nash.
What?
And then your main event for the WCW title again, we have Booker T taking on Jeff Jarrett. BDC, this is your show. This is your calling. You want to watch the whole thing, or you just want to watch a few matches?
Man, listen, I am definitely not watching this whole thing. By far, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. So we will get a couple of key matches in and call it a day. Because damn, just damn.
I say we start from Mike Awesome and Scott Steiner. That's what I say.
Well, I'm going to watch the Norman Smiley match just because that's Norman Smiley.
Yeah, I want you.
But yeah, I think that's actually a good idea to start from Awesome and work down from there.
All right, so next week we're going to cover Mike Awesome and Scott Steiner, Vampiro and the Demon, Shane Douglas and Buff Bagwell, Hollywood Hogan, Jeff Jarrett, Goldberg, Kevin Nash, and Booker T and Jeff Jarrett.
Yep.
That's what we're doing. That's your homework for next week.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully we got the good half.
Oh, Lord. Well, I'm going to watch everything, and I know John's going to watch everything, too. He's going to fill in the gaps, because I know he's a Loco fan.
Well, as you know, cards subject to change, but a recent prediction show guest host, Dan Ringside Steve, he's very interested in also talking about WCW Bash at the Beach 2000. I imagine he watched or will watch the whole show. He's very excited to talk about what's Platinum's Cat doing. He's very excited to talk about this pay-per-view, so he'll probably watch the whole thing. So between Dom and Ringside, and maybe myself, we'll have full coverage of this premium live event.
He said premium.
Oh, my
Hey, it was
Lord.
pay-per-view. Someone bought this.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, wasn't me either.
It was that dude Vladimir from New York. He bought it. Come on, he has his own documentary on Peacock. Of course he bought it.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Super fan. He looks like Platino right now.
Hey guys, you know the tagline for this Bash at the Beach 2000?
You're bald.
It ain't no picnic.
Shit, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied.
Oh Lord! If y'all want to get a good laugh, look at the promotional
Wait,
poster, man.
is it Booker T? Is he kissing the
Nah, it's
belt?
Goldberg. Nah, it's Goldberg. Then you see like some action figure referee like this.
Jesus.
Oh, that's about it. Strap, shut us down. It's time for bed.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
tell me about it.
people of Earth, thank you for tuning in to the It Doesn't Matter podcast for Platinozilla, Bash DC, and myself and Mailman Dom. We will see you next time. Boom!
Now, are you delivering from the front or the back?
Lion Tamer.